Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to the Slowest Blitz, where we are playing Asphodel. It's turn 46. Double check that. It's turn 46. Got a whole bunch of battles as per normal. Most of these are going to be inconsequential because it's just the eternal raid with man. But maybe some stuff will matter. We'll see. We've got battle in Kepria. So man is actually kind of like attacking us in quite a few more of our Heartland locations, which is frustrating because we're already having various particular issues, but it also means that he's starting to hit at our unsupported bases of mannequin soldiers. I've talked previously about what I should be doing here, right? We've got 6 Knights of Avalon here. Really, long ago, what I should have done is I should have put 50 to 60 mannequins in every single fucking province, and just been like, okay, if you send 6 Knights of Avalon at us, you're going to risk some of them dying. They won't always die, but they could die, and that's gonna feel bad, right? I didn't do that though. It's just, there's a lot of things, especially at this point in the game, where stuff happens personally. And like, a lot of these decisions in hindsight are super obvious decisions, but the compelling moments in the game often drew what little attention I had at that particular moment. And I really could have addressed a lot of little things like this far more easily, but I just didn't end up doing that. So, at least not yet. So, we also get hit in Force of the Lost. This is another after-the-fact Call of the Wild group that's still rolling around. We only got 1 PD there, so easy win for him. We also get attacked in Bycliff, so he has moved one of his Landless Knight longbow monk stacks forward. Fortunately, there's not really much here, which is good because that means we don't lose a whole bunch of stuff. We attack into man, and this really is an attack. This is a, hey, this guy costs us 76 gold a year. Please get rid of him for us. Let's see how they do. They do fine. Yeah, they get rid of him. Congratulations, we no longer have that Minotaur Lord. We attack into New Coast. So this is actually meant to be somewhat of a little raiding party. We are trying to get rid of these satyrs. They do cost us money, but we're also hoping to deal some economic damage. Unfortunately, there's a fair amount of shit here. There's a lot of crossbows. And there's actually a lot of Jade Maidens in here, along with a couple of monks. So they're going to get blessed up. And I actually do... So, I like his bless on Jade Maidens more than I like our bless on Jade Maidens. I think his bless on Jade Maidens actually makes them somewhat formidable. It does give them a little bit of strength, which they really do not have a lot of. I think the lizard really benefits from that, having a better bite attack. And it does make the light lance, which does have a charge bonus on first strike, hit significantly harder. So I do think the +3 strength is actually really good for them because it has a better chance of activating Blood Surge, which they can get even stronger from. I like it. Obviously, our bless is way stacked into defense, so it does make them very tanky in that regard, but the smattering of resistances and the slightly killier nature of the strength +3 Blood Surge combo, I think actually really benefits these Jade Maidens. So that's kind of cool. Not for us, but kind of cool. Oh, we didn't watch the rest of the fight. Sorry. Got distracted. But those guys are going to plow us, basically. Even if nothing else was here, those Jade Maidens alone would plow us. And there's plenty of ranged units, which we know mannequins do not do well against. And plenty of other supporting units as well. So we get absolutely trashed there. Jade Maidens get 37 kills. Very, very good. Between 12 of them, very nicely done. So we lose 61 units there. Basically the entire force. Amusingly, some of the only things to escape are the satyrs, which we want dead. You fuckers! We do lose our Hierophant there, which is unfortunate. But, is what it is. So that's New Coast. We attack into Kasevik. And we have some Summer Lions here. Mostly just rolling around with them. We have a Carrion commander that is somewhat protected by some... Got a limp. He's got a limp. Somewhat protected by some Harpy mannequins. And the Summer Lions do fine, just, you know. Did not expect him to have anything there, which is why we were more than happy to just toss out the Summer Lions, because they're just sitting around not doing it. We've got an attack by some actual Knights of Man rather than Knights of Avalon. Just being led by a monk, which is a little dangerous, but they're up against nothing, so that's going to be... We attack in Muspel. So we have a larger stack of various mannequin chaff. And it's just 1 PD. This poor little guy. 31, 15. For some big hits. So we take Muspel without any issue, and we get to watch a battle between Bandar Log and Abysia in Black Peaks. I'm trying to follow around this Bandar Log army just to be like, let's see some cool shit that Bandar Log is doing, and let's see if Abysia can do anything to halt them. This looks like it's mostly PD. A lot of PD. Maybe like a PD dump here. I don't think that's going to matter to the Tiger Riders. I think, ooh, especially ethereal Tiger Riders. Yay. If this was just PD, that's going to be a lot of That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah, it's basically just PD. That is a shit ton of PD. Holy fuck. Ay, that's a lot. 119 kills on those Tiger Riders. Fucking hell. Those things are terrifying. Very scary. It almost like... I say it makes me question how Bandar got into this state, but really it doesn't, right? Bandar got into this state because they briefly fought Nabaa and fought Abysia and Agartha for an extended period of time, right? More so, it's a show of prowess that they are still in the game. So good on them. They're really sticking it to Abysia at this point, basically. Which is very cool. We get attacked in Sylvania by a bunch of Draconians, and we have very little here. We do have a little bit of PD, and it's going to get immediately eviscerated by these Draconians. I should not have allowed this to happen. I should not have allowed that to happen. There should be, considering how much we have in Sylvania, there should be a stronger setup. But I think my concern with establishing some sort of defensive patrol mechanic is that in order to facilitate something like defending against something like this, we would probably need 100, 150 plus mannequins. And we have that in Sylvania. The issue I would have is that that's not an insubstantial portion of the forces we have there. If we were to get hit by something larger than a stray stack like this. If man were to decide to jump 50 Knights of Avalon on that, then they would eviscerate that stack, that defensive stack. And then we run into an issue of, okay, well, then we just lost a bunch of mannequins for nothing. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. There are definitely things that I could do. there are definitely things that I could do right now. There are superior things, far superior things that I could have done had I played out the beginning and middle of this war better. Say beginning and middle comparative to where we are right now, right? Kind of situation. So that's a little annoying. We're gonna have to deal with that. We attack in Eterol. Okay, so this is a bunch of Minotaurs led by another Minotaur Lord. Got anything else? Looks like not. We are hoping to raid around and cause some issue, but we're also hoping to get these Minotaurs killed. Again, they are costing us money we do not have. So, that'll do it. That'll do it. And this, notably, is right next to Sylvania now, so good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Well, we killed a bunch of wolves at least, and then they're immediately dead. Wow. That's, well, mission accomplished. We got those Minotaurs and that Minotaur Lord killed. Good. We did actually kill 22 wolves and a Knight of Avalon. Someone smacked a Knight of Avalon in the mouth before they went down. That's pretty nice. Honestly, would not have expected that. We take those. We have been attacked in Trotturn, another Call of the Wild scenario. Another 1PD situation. Unexpected event in Shadowglade. We have gained an Animist and 42 wolves. Cool. And then we purge a bunch of scouts, basically, and we get caught in Simri. So I was actually trying to draw these units out, and man has just PD dumped so many provinces where our ability to sneak is basically just fucking shot at this point. So we're probably not going to be doing that anymore. It has not worked out very well for us. We've taken out, I think, 2 temples, maybe 3 temples over the course of our sneaking into his back line. So it's not it's not nothing, but it's not worth the time and focus, especially since we can't afford the units right now. Is just not going to happen anymore. Found another Agarthan scout and another Agarthan scout. So we are under siege in Forbidden Forest, but we're repairing the walls faster than they can break them. We're under siege in Mictum. In Imictum. Or Imicton? Ew, words. They can't harm our walls. We're under a siege in Sylvania, and our walls are actually damaged, because flyers. And the fortification in Mountains of Mist is unharmed. So, still having upkeep issues. That's a lot. That's a lot going on. Those are concerns. So we have a stack of Draconians on Sylvania. There's a decently sized army in Eterol, but not a crazy army. 46 knights, some Draconians, not a whole lot of, like, magical support or anything like that, but something to be concerned over, right? Especially when coupled with the Draconians in Sylvania, and considering how close he is to his home territory and support. Over here, we have in Bycliff, Kingdom of Dara, we have 2 groups of Landless Knights longbows, as well as some Knights of Man, so this is a concern. And then down here, we can see a really big concern, right? We've got 300 units-ish, Longbowmen, Knights of Avalon, Landless Knights. That is a problem coming for our southern. I know I've been saying this, and this has been under construction, in effect, planning, plotting, blah, 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 however you want to refer to it, for a while. But while this is concerning, I am not super concerned about it, because Vanarus is going to be coming in sooner rather than later. Hopefully. Probably. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully. I'm fucking fucked with it. Oh god. Oh, I would be so fucked off. Oh my god. If we've been trying to plan this out for, or I say we. When I say we, I mean I'm addressing like us as a collective, because you are all a part of this now too. I've been trying to kind of like plan and figure this out and be like, okay, Phaeacia's fucked. How do I? What do I? Right? So this has been going on for several turns now in a bit of a low 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 effort time period, a place where I have low ability, time, and will. And this has been the one thing that I've like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. This is gonna make us happy or win, but this will be a thorn in man's side, and that's what we're trying to be at this point, right? How fucked would it be if I go through all of this and then Vanarus is just like, nah, bro. Nah, I changed my mind. And I'm just like, okay. Alright, that being said, that is not the plan. That's not the assumption. We are going to go based off of our assumptions. So, we are still operating under the concept that very shortly Vanarus is going to make a mess of man in Phaeacia, meaning we may or may not have to fight this. If we have to fight it, so be it. We'll bring all of the guns that we have to bear, and we will go from there. If we don't have to fight it, great. We are trying to keep our attention in the north. We are trying to keep our eyes on Agartha. We have more scouts down here trying to figure out where the fuck Agartha is. We have just a single mannequin up here on Mountains of Mist, and I think this is actually the first turn that he's been there. This might be the second turn. If it is the first turn, I think he stays on there for a couple turns, which is interesting. We are going to throw a bunch into Bycliff. Why are we throwing a bunch into Bycliff? Because there's not a lot of Knights of Man here. I'm expecting that he's not even going to be here in the next turn. Man has done great maneuvering around and being relatively unpredictable in his pathing. So I do not expect him to consolidate in Bycliff and give us the chance to throw a bunch of shit at him. But if he does, we have a decent-sized stack of mannequins, which I do not expect to do much other than die, as well as a stack of draconians, which I do expect to eviscerate a bunch of archers, and some centaurs on the wings in order to kill significantly more archers. But I expect we're probably going to run into PvP or maybe a smallish stack and see how that goes. We are going to be, of course, counter-raiding all over the place, etc., etc. But the biggest thing that we're probably doing this turn is we just moved a bunch of people from Sylvania into Shadowglade with the concept that we were going to then jump on Mountains of Mist. We do not want to lose Sylvania again, so we are sending at least the Black Centaurs back, with the hope that the combined forces there will be able to do something about holding Sylvania. We're also going to try to break the siege with the Black Harpy, just to see if he even leaves anything there. Often people will not. See how that goes. And the only other thing we're really doing this turn that I think is of note, again, really trying to min-max our research and make sure that we hit Conjuration 8, in the concept that we'll be able to do a big marble army battlefield fight, potentially at Sylvania. So aside from really like min-maxing our research and trying to make sure that we've got enough to hit that goal, we're twice warning some people, which we should have done a while ago. So we don't have enough death to actually go just across the board, but we are twice warning Linos up here, and we're twice spawning Thyron. Tryon? Thryron? Carrion. I don't know fucking that. We're twice spawning some. Sorry, not Carrion. Phaeacia. We're twice spawning some people. With the potential intention of maybe throwing some like basic shit that we've just randomly picked up. I don't think we'll actually make anything for anyone. But we are doing some basic shit. Or we do have some basic stuff. And maybe we'll make a few more basic items to potentially throw on these individuals and then get them killed. Raid around, maybe try to do some light thugging, and then get them killed. So that they can twice spawn and no longer cost us a metric shit ton of gold. Speaking of gold, you may notice that we no longer have any fire. I believe this is the turn that we actually do. We're sending a bunch of fire and water to Naba. Part of this, I think a large part of this is just gold. But I believe we're also getting some items from Naba as well. I'll check next. But basically, we're in complete decline at this point. There is very little that we're going to be able to do against man other than maybe fight a big battle and cause a bloody nose. But he has an economy that is now booming that we don't have. Well, booming. His scales don't really provide him that much of a boom. But it is there. It is growing, right? Whereas our economy is basically shot. We have nothing, and we have not transitioned into gems the way that we should have, right? So we're kind of fucked there. We do have the ability potentially to more than bloody Agartha's neck, right? So that is still on the table, and we'll see how that goes. But a lot of these gems, I do not like to play in a scenario where I hoard way too many gems to begin with, right? Because I have grand plans that often never come to fruition. But at the end of the day, when things are about to be done, I generally will be like, okay, well, we're burning every fucking gem we have. We're not quite to that point, right? But we are definitely to the point to where I think we're going to just start burning gems for slight power boosts and ways to keep us from emerging units, right? So that's kind of the generalized concept there. Should have been doing it a while ago, but again, grand plans and all that. Which is kind of funny because we are, after finishing, we will finish Alteration 8 this turn. We're going to go up into Conjuration 6. And that is actually where I wanted to go earlier for Flame Spirits. That's why I was saving my fire gems. But it's just too far of a concept. Even though it's like 3 turns away, right? It's too far of a concept. 1 Flame Spirit at a time, 1 fire gem, right? Like, yay, you got 1 Flame Spirit. Great. I don't think that's going to turn the tide on us. So, it is what it is, and that's pretty much that. Don't think there's much else to talk about in this particular episode. But that may change very shortly. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.